Monday, January 2. God is the owner of everything. Read Psalm 50 verse 10 through 12 and Psalm 24 verse 1, 1 Chronicles 29 verse 13 and 14, and Haggai 2 verse 8. What's the message here, and what should this truth mean to us as how we relate to whatever we possess? Psalm 50 verse 10 through 12. For every animal of the forest is mine, and the cattle of 1,000 hills. I know every bird in the mountains, and the insects in the fields are mine. If I were hungry, I would not tell you, for the world is mine, and all that is in it. Psalm 24 verse 1. Of David, a psalm. The earth is the Lord's, and everything in it, the world and all who live in it. 1 Chronicles chapter 29 verses 13 and 14. Now, our God, we give you thanks and praise your glorious name. But who am I and who are my people that we should be able to give as generously as this? Everything comes from you, and we have given you only what comes from your hand. The book of 1 Chronicles, starting with chapter 17, records King David's desire to build a house for the Lord. He shared this desire with the prophet Nathan, who responded, "Do all that is in your heart, for God is with you." 1 Chronicles 17 verse 2. But that night the word of God came to Nathan and instructed him to tell the king that because he was a man of war, he could not build God's house. His son would do the work instead. David asked if he could at least draw the plans and prepare the building materials. When David was granted this request, he spent the rest of his life amassing a tremendous amount of hewn stone, cedar, iron, gold, silver, and brass without measure. When all of the building materials had been prepared and assembled at the building site, David called all the leaders of Israel together for a ceremony of praise and thanksgiving. In 1 Chronicles 29, 13 and 14, in King David's public prayer, what did he say was the real source of all the building materials that he and the people had spent time and money preparing? Of course, in essence, he said, we really can't take any credit for all these special materials because we're just giving you back your own stuff. The point is important for all of us, whether rich or poor, but especially the rich, because God made everything in the beginning. See Genesis 1:1 and John 1:3 and Psalms 33 verse 6 and verse 9. He is truly the rightful owner of all that exists, including whatever we possess, no matter how hard and diligently and honestly we have worked for it. If not for God and His grace, we would have nothing. We would be nothing. In fact, we wouldn't even exist. Thus, we must always live with the realization that ultimately God owns all that is, and by praising and thanking Him for His goodness to us, we can keep this important truth before us. But who am I and who are my people that we should be able to offer you so willingly as this? 1 Chronicles 29:14. What beautiful principles are expressed in these words, and how they should reflect what our attitude toward God should be and our attitude toward what we possess. Short commentary. We need to remember that many times we're holding fast to our riches and thinking they're ours, but everything is God's. And David's attitude is really an example for us that we should apply daily, remembering God is the owner of everything. Everything. Don't hold fast to anything. God is the real owner.